Australia is a destination that is on so many people's dream bucket list. And while I'm lucky enough to call this country home, the truth is that it is massive. The states are gigantic, and while I have explored a bit, I feel like I've barely scratched the surface. So today I want to share some of my dream destinations I want to visit in Australia and some things I want to do as an American that's been living here for the last decade, which is insane. And if you live here or you've visited and you have any suggestions that I could add to this list, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Of course, I can't kick this list off with anything other than Uluru, that gorgeous red rock in the middle of this country that is just so iconic. And I still can't believe that I've never been there before. It is just stunning. I just think that the landscape is so captivating. I feel like it's one of those moments where you're taking in a landscape and it just makes you feel so small. Like, I'm assuming, obviously, but that's how I feel like it would be, and I love that feeling. It just reminds me that life is just like so fragile and small, and we are just like a little piece of this giant puzzle that is the universe and galaxies and all the things. I'm not gonna go into the alien talk, but like, you know, I just think it's such a special spot that's linked to so much history, and I would just love to go and explore. And I just feel like you can't say I've lived in Australia for over a decade and I've never been to Uluru. Like, what kind of sentence is that? I just, like, the pictures and videos I've seen alone are just so beautiful and breathtaking that I feel like just being there in person would just be like iconic. Okay, we're doing iconic shit. So another thing I've been wanting to do since literally like forever, since I moved here, is an East Coast trip. And pretty much every other person that I know that has moved here for a working holiday visa has done an East Coast trip. It's like what you do. And because I moved here with the intent to live and like stay here, and it wasn't like a holiday for me, I didn't get that same experience that most people get when they come here on like a work holiday visa. Like, we're just working to pay for our travels. You know what I mean? I was working to pay for my bills and groceries and just like day-to-day living. So I didn't get that typical experience, but I watched so many other people do it, and I was like, I need to just do it one day. Like, I don't have to live by the story that like, oh, well, I'm not just traveling through, so like I need to focus on other things. Like, it's something that anyone can do. And it's just been on my list, and I was so close to doing it 1 year, and then I got let go of my job, and then just so many things keep getting in the way, but it's going to happen. It just looks so fun, so magical. There's just so many spots along the east coast of Australia, and it's just like hitting beach town after beach town after beach town, and it's just like, I love road trips so much. Like, I literally have a whole other channel dedicated to like my road trips and adventures here in Australia. And this is just like, again, like an iconic, like, you have to do this. You can't say I've explored Australia and you've never done an East Coast trip. Like, I won't believe you. I feel like it's just one of the dream road trips in Australia. We were planning to do one last year, so I already started doing a lot of research, and there's just so much. If you can do it over a couple of months, like, you will see so much and do so much. But like, I know people who do it in a week or two. Like, you can customize it. There's so many different ways to do an East Coast trip in Australia because there is so much variety, so much on offer, and it's just beautiful. Like, it's not like I haven't been to some of the places along the East Coast. I have, but to be able to do it on this long road trip where you're just like bouncing from destination to destination, I just love the road trip vibes. Okay, so an East Coast trip. Honestly, I don't know why this is on my list. Like, I don't, because like, I'm scared of everything. Which is funny because I live in Australia, and everyone's always like, oh my god, everything's trying to kill you. And I'm like, it's not really like that here, not in Victoria at least. Like, we don't find snakes in our bed. I literally saw an article yesterday where a lady was bitten by a poisonous snake in her bed in Queensland, and I was like, this is why I live in Victoria. It's too cold for all that nonsense, that tropical nonsense. Even though there was a point where I was like, maybe I should move to Queensland. It ain't happening. It ain't happening, okay? What I do want to do is go up to Darwin and go to the Croc Cove there, where you can go into a tank and watch them feed a giant crocodile. That sounds insane, and it is, but I want to do it, and I don't know why, because I'm crazy. I just think it's so fascinating. I just want to do it so badly. Like, I don't know why. I am scared of deep water. Genuinely don't know why this is calling my name, but it is, so we're gonna answer the calling one day. I just think, like, man, what an experience this would be to, like, be so close to this, like, friggin' dinosaur. Like, it's like once in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, it's not because it's there. Like, I could literally go tomorrow if I wanted to. I could jump on a plane and go, but, like, I'm not going to do it again. Like, if I do it once, I mean, never say never, but, like, I think once is enough, okay? I don't know. I want to do it. I have mixed feelings about it, but I still am leaving it on the list, okay? Would you do this? Have you done this? Let me know in the comments, because whose idea was this? Like, the other thing is, like, I want to do shark diving. Shark cage diving. What's it called? Shark cage. This is the thing you need to know. Like, because someone out there is like, oh yeah, people do that all the time. Go into a cage and watch them feed the sharks. People do that all the time, yes. But, like, you don't know me, okay? I'm the one that's at the beach and, like, I'll go out to my waist because I'm like, the sharks are gonna get me. like, I am that girl, okay? So it's like, I love being in the water, but I am terrified. And, like, every time I go into the water, it's like I'm the most courageous person on this planet, okay? And so, like, every single time I'm like, I'm being so brave. So it's like, if you ever see me out and I'm in the water, just know that I am, like, fighting for my life. I just love it, and I'm just not going to let my fear of being in the water and being in deeper water, like, hold me back in life. So it's like, I'm pushing my comfort zone, and I know that it sounds ridiculous to some people, but it is what it is. I still want to do it. I don't know. I genuinely think that I would have a panic attack and hyperventilate. But somewhere in here wants to do it, and so I don't know, maybe I'll get as far as, like, getting the tickets. I don't know, but, like, we'll see. Like, I don't know, I just feel like life is so short, and it's just like those moments where you just feel so alive. You're doing something, like, so out of your comfort zone, and you like, it's those moments where I feel like life is truly being lived, mainly because, like, you're next to a crocodile, you're next to a shark, like, it can all be over. So you better enjoy it. Anyway, I still got mixed feelings about that stuff, so it's on the list, but we're still mentally working through it, okay? All right. Another thing I want to do is go to Western Australia and see the quokkas. They're so cute. They're so cute. Oh my god. I cannot even handle seeing pictures of them, because they're so cute. Like, they're so photogenic. Like, how are these things so photogenic? And I believe that they're only in Western Australia, because I've never seen them here. And all the pictures I see are in Western Australia. So I need to go there specifically to see them, but also because Western Australia looks beautiful, gorgeous. I feel like Western Australia is like, when the world pictures Australia, they picture WA. Typical, like, Australian dream. Like the white sandy beaches and the beautiful waters and quokkas. And I feel like me being on a beach with a quokka, or anywhere with a quokka, I will cry. It will just be like life goals. It will be like the pinnacle of bucket list dreams, meeting one. They're so cute. I just need to do it. I need to do it. I need to. Like, it's not a want, it's a need. I keep like getting closer and closer to the camera. I'm like, I need to do it. Okay. Let's calm down. Let's calm down here. Backing off the quokkas in Western Australia, I just want to, like, experience, like, kangaroos on the beach. I just like yeah, I've seen like pictures and videos, and like it's like so like majestic, like just like these beautiful pristine beaches, and then like kangaroos, and I'm just like, wow. And then like a beautiful sunset. Like so many variables play into that situation, but like if the stars could align and make that day happen where I'm watching the sunset on a pristine beach with kangaroos around, stop, send me to heaven, I'm done. Oh, that would be amazing. So it's like I don't really have much control over this unless I like go to a place that's like known for like beautiful sunsets and like flooded with kangaroos, which I'm sure it exists. It has to exist. I've seen photos, so it must be somewhere. I just have to do better research. I also want to go on a yacht on the Whitsundays because that just sounds luxury AF. And again, beautiful beaches, boat life. Although I do think that I would get highly seasick. And I'm about to go on my first cruise, so pray for me, y'all. Okay, pray for me. But I want to do like 3 to 5 nights on one of those yachts on the Whitsundays. I feel like it would be, again, out of my comfort zone, a beautiful like experience and location, and a beautiful way to see that area of Australia. I want to go and see the Whitsundays not on a boat as well. So like, yeah, both. Just the Whitsundays on a boat, off a boat, around a boat, near a boat, the whole thing. No, just like living my best yacht life and like going out, seeing dolphins, and hopefully like it's just a beautiful experience and the boat doesn't capsize and all of that kind of stuff doesn't happen. But like the good part, yeah, I want to do that. Minus the seasickness. You know, now that I'm like looking through this list, like a lot of it is water related. And like, I mean, I guess we're just like this big giant island, so it makes sense. There's a lot of water things to do. And I feel like it's like there's so many beautiful beaches here, so it's like you have to take advantage of that. Like you have to. Like, well, I have to. Like you do you, but I have to. Okay. The Great Barrier Reef, obviously. There's an underwater hotel in the Great Barrier Reef. Like, I'm sorry. Obviously, that's on my bucket list. Again, I'm afraid of deep water. Like, I am, like, convinced that, like, sharks are, like, on the shore. Okay? So it's, like, being able to, like, experience marine life, like, in a hotel kind of experience where it's, like, feels a little bit more like I'm not going to drown, I'm not going to die, a shark's not going to eat me. I like that kind of experience where it's like I get to enjoy it, but like I feel safe, you know, even though it's like a hotel underwater, so it's like one bad seal and that thing's caving in. Surely that's not going to happen. It's fine. Plenty of people have stayed there and it's been fine. No one's drowned, nothing's caved in yet, so I think it's fine. It would be wild. It would be so cool though. I just think it would be so cool. Like it would be so cool. It's not an opinion. It's cool, okay? And obviously like just the Great Barrier Reef in general. Like honestly, what's going on with the Great Barrier Reef? Is it still dying, or like have we helped regenerate it? What's the word? Regenerate. I haven't looked into it recently, I'm not going to lie, but I hope it's still there. I remember like maybe when I first moved here like 10 years ago, there was like the whole thing like it's gone, you need to go visit it before it's gone. But like then I saw people like last year like going to the Great Barrier Reef, so I don't know. Again, this is another thing I need to look into. I haven't looked into a lot of these things recently, so for all I know, there's no Great Barrier Reef anymore. No, I'm pretty sure there is. But yeah, just like going to the Great Barrier Reef. Like, I think it would be really cool to do like a helicopter ride to like see it from an aerial view. If you can, like still, like what's the vibe there? What's going on up there? Can we still see it? Is it dead? I don't know. Like, I know like I'm joking about this, but like it is serious. I know that. Like it's sad and it's serious, so like don't take my humor the wrong way, but I just think that like the underwater hotel and like seeing the Great Barrier Reef from like a helicopter view would be just such a cool perspective to just take in the ocean. You know what I mean? Like, especially like being underwater but not being immersed in, like, you're dry but you're underwater. Like, whew, wild. Big lap of Australia. Like, I feel like Australia was made for road trips, you know? Like, it is one of those countries that, like, you road trip. Like, Iceland is a road trip country. Like, I just feel like, I mean, a lot of countries are road trip countries, let's be honest. But road tripping Iceland was never on my bucket list until I moved to Australia. Like, I feel like the big lap of Australia, like, made me want to do, like, a big lap of every country. Like, I genuinely, yes. Like, I laughed, but I'm being serious. So, a big lap of Australia is something that I've been aiming to do. Sorry, I'm staring out this window the whole time because the water is right there. I'm staring at the beach. It's beautiful, okay? So, if I'm not even looking at you, just, like, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? A big lap of Australia is something that I've been aiming to do for my other travel channel for so long, like pretty much since we started the channel, like over 2 years ago now. It's going to happen. We were saving up for it, and then life happened, COVID happened, the world shut down, like inflation, recession, blah, 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 blah. So it just got put on the back burner, and it's not as much of a priority as some of the other things we've been doing. So just been focusing on other things, but it is still on the list. I think it would be so amazing and fun and such a fun way to see the country. I just think, like, when you're on a road trip, like, you have more control of, like, where you stop, how long you stay, and, like, depending on how long you have to do the drive or whatever. It's just so fun. Like, one of my favorite feelings in the world is, like, getting on the road for a new trip and, like, just not knowing what's ahead. Like, what's gonna come up? Who are you gonna meet along the way? What are you gonna see? Like, you just don't know. It's just so fun. It's just, like, road trip snacks, playlists going, like, vibes. It's so good. And I'm, like, even more excited because, like, after I film this, we're getting on the road. So, like, I'm already in those vibes right now. But, like, I'm not going to do a big lap. I'm just going to do a camping weekend and a canoeing weekend. And I'm a little nervous about it. As we said, the water thing, I'm a little nervous about the canoe camping, okay? But I'm trying here, people. I'm trying to live my best life despite my fears of water. I love taking a plane to a new city, but there's just something about hitting the road, okay? I honestly feel like you could do several laps of this country and every single trip would feel different because there is so much to see and do. And that is freaking wild. Like, the states are so big. They're just so big. It takes us 4 hours just to get to the border of our state. Like, that's insane to me. Like, back home, I lived 5 minutes to the border. Like, when I would go to the shopping center, it was in the next state. That's how close I was to the border. So 4 hours, 4.5 hours, that is crazy to me. Boston to New York is 4 hours. I'm going through 3 states in that time in the US. It's crazy. I also want to do more research to find, like, sanctuaries and ways to, like, help out with animals. Close-up experiences, being able to help out with animals. I just love the idea of that. One of the reasons why I do have mixed feelings when it comes to animal encounters is just because I never know how the animals are being treated. So it's always, like, in the back of my head. And so I would love to just go somewhere, like, you know, they have, like, koala rehabilitation centers, you know, the koalas that are affected from the bushfires and stuff like that. I would love to, like, go to those kind of places and just volunteer, help out, and meet the animals. And I just love it. I just think it's so amazing. So, like, those kind of animal experiences I would much rather do versus, like, going to a zoo. However, I do want to go to the Sea River Irwin Zoo, so, like, I have to do that. I think that would be so amazing. Just finding those kind of sanctuaries, rehabilitation centers, and, like, just being able to, like, help out, like, learn more. I would love to learn more. That's my vibe. And I'll probably cry the whole time, but it's fine because it's, like, it's for a good cause. Okay, my camera just cut off. Like, my hair is looking crazy today, okay? But we're rolling with it, okay? So don't tell me you've never had a bad hair day, okay? Yeah, over the years I've just become more conscious, aware, and, like, intentional about these kinds of experiences. So it is something I do a little bit more research on, but if you know any cool places like that, I would love to hear. I would love to know. I would love to immerse myself. And then going off the back of that, I want to see camels in the desert at sunset. I think that would be insane, magical. Like, I don't know. I love camels. Like, camels are so cool. If before I moved to Australia, if you asked me, like, do you love camels, I would have been like, I guess. Like, I don't, like, I was neutral about camels until I moved to Australia and I realized that, like, there's so many camels here. Like, it has, like, one of the densest camel populations in the world. Like, I didn't know that. Who knows that? Like, that's insane. Why? Like, that's insane. I mean, like, I know why now, but, like, I didn't know. And when I saw photos of camels in Australia, like, I was like, what? I can do that? Like, that's possible for me? And I was like, that's so cool. And then my love for camels happened. And then we were driving on a trip. We were going camping one weekend, and we drove by a camel farm, and I saw camels on the road, and it was my birthday, and I'll never forget that day. I was screaming. I was tearing up. It was so wild. It was so wild. Like, I was driving by a camel farm. A camel farm. Like, I'm sorry. Where they do that at? In Australia. In Australia, they have camel farms. Like, and it didn't look like a farm. It just looked like someone's house that had, like, camels in the front yard. And that was the wildest part about it. And I was like there was, like, 3 camels. Like, just chilling in someone's front yard as we drove by. Like, what? Their tongues are really gross though, and they'll spit on you. I don't want to get spit at by a camel, but, like, I do love them. So I think it would be really cool. I know, like, a lot of people, like, ride camels in the desert but on sunset, but I would just love to, like, see them out there living their best life. I'd love to find a place that, like, takes great care of the camels and is looking after them and all that kind of stuff, and, like, have an interaction with them and feed them and, like, take care of them. Like, I would love to find something like that, but again, I would have to really do my research on that, because it feels a little wrong sometimes, depending. I also just want to, like, watch a sunset over the water, preferably in every single state in Australia. It's a work in progress. Like, I've done it in Victoria many times. I think I've done it in Queensland as well, but, like, I want to start from now, you know? I want to start from now so I can, like, take a photo of me watching the sunset in every single state. And then I can, like, put it in a photo album. And then when I'm old, I can be like, look what I did. I looked at this sunset in every single state of Australia. And it was beautiful. I don't know. I just love sunsets. I feel like they're magical. They force you to stop and be still. They're so fleeting. And I just think it's, like, a regular reminder, for me at least, about how fleeting life is. Every single time I watch the sunset, I'm like, oh my god, that went by so quickly. Like, it just like that. And another day is gone. And I'm just like, damn. Like, every single time, it just is a huge reminder to me of just, like, how fleeting time is. And so, even if I just stop for 5 minutes to remind myself of that, I just think that sunsets are, like, symbolical for, like, life is fleeting, time is fleeting. I know that's, like, so deep. Like, it's a sunset, it's not that deep, but it also is, okay? It is. I am sure that there's so much I didn't think of in this video, but I think it's a pretty good start. I'm really happy with where it's going. Let me know if you've done any of these. Let me know if you would or wouldn't do any of these. And if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing, and I hope to see you tuning in to another video soon. Bye!